Hi there, it's Asia. Let's talk about one of the trickiest questions in IELTS listening, matching information. While preparing for this lesson, I solved a number of questions of this type, and I found some strategies that can help you answer these questions. Let's talk about them first, and then we try to solve several practice questions together. Okay? Let's get started. Okay, matching information questions appear either in part 2, which is a monologue by one speaker, or part 3, which is a dialogue between two people. Here is a task. So it comes from Cambridge IELTS books, and Cambridge English is the organization that prepares IELTS papers. So their practice tests are the closest to the real thing. So here is a task. At the top, you have a box with options from A to H, and at the bottom, you have questions from 15 to 20. You always have more options than questions. In this case, 8 options and 6 questions. And you use each option only once. There are 2 proofs of that. So first of all, look at the task. Choose 6 answers from the box. And we have 6 questions, so you use each only once. But also, when you take a computer-based test, to answer this type of question, you simply take an option and you drag it to the question, and it automatically disappears from the list of options. Okay, the first tip is follow the questions. In matching information questions, questions come in order. So questions are those at the bottom with numbers. And you will hear about fresh food commercial manager first, then agronomist, then fresh produce buyer, and so on. Another good tip is that questions are not paraphrased. So you will actually hear the exact words, fresh food commercial manager, and so on. The only paraphrasing is in question number 18. The garden center sales manager is the sales manager for a chain of garden centers. I'm sure you will agree that it's a very easy paraphrasing. The difficulty of matching information is that options are paraphrased, and they are fully paraphrased. Not a single keyword will be repeated. So you need to look for synonyms and paraphrasing. I've prepared a little exercise for you to check how well you can recognize paraphrasing. I've selected the phrases or sentences from the recording, and you need to find which option they're talking about. First, let's read all the options. You should do that before the recording starts. A. Not a permanent job. B. Involves leading a team. Experience not essential. Intensive work, but also fun. Chance to earn more through overtime. Chance for rapid promotion. Accommodation available. Local travel involved. Okay, these are our options. Now, find which option they're talking about. Available for a 12-month maternity cover. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. Okay, which answer is this? A. Not a permanent job. So you will cover for someone who's on maternity, someone who's having a baby. So this means that this job is not permanent. Next. There are good opportunities for the right person to quickly make their way up the career ladder. A few seconds. Look through all the options. Which one is this? The answer is F. Chance for rapid promotion. If you make your way up the career ladder quickly, it means you get promoted quickly. Next. The staff work hard, but they play hard as well. Which option is this? The answer is D. Intensive work, but also fun. When you're talking about someone and you hear work hard, play hard, it means that someone works very hard, but then they have a lot of fun as well. Next, the possibility of renting a small cottage on the estate. Which option is this? We have just a few left. That's accommodation available. If you rent a cottage, it means you live there, so that's your accommodation. The company may be prepared to consider someone who has just completed an appropriate training course. So which option is this? Experience not essential. If someone just completed a training course, it means they haven't worked yet. They don't have any experience. You will be visiting centers in the region. This is the last one. And the answer is H. Local travel involved. If you'll be visiting centers in the region, you will travel there. And as you can see, not a single keyword has been repeated. When they're talking about maternity cover, it's not a permanent job, or completed a training course, experience not essential, work hard, play hard, intensive work but fun. So to answer this type of questions, you really need to concentrate on the meaning, not just look for some keywords. My tip is try to memorize the options. Read all of them before the recording begins and try to memorize as many as you can. Then it will be easier for you to locate the correct option quickly. Now let's talk about selecting your answers. If you take a paper-based test, then your answer must be a letter, not a word. So be careful about it. You should also cross out all the used options. Then you will have fewer and fewer options left, and it will be easier and easier for you to answer the remaining questions. If you take a computer-based test, then you will see your questions on the left and options on the right. And you take an option and you drag it to the question. And then it just stays there, so it automatically disappears from the list of options. And if you want to replace it, you can either drag it back, or you can just take another option and drop it on top of it, and the previous option will automatically jump back. Okay, now let's try to solve several practice tasks. Ready? Here they are.
You will hear a man talking to an official at a tourist information office.
Can I help you?
Yes, I was wanting somewhere to stay for a few days, a 4- or 5-star hotel. Can you tell me something about the possibilities?
OK, right, well, there are 5 hotels that might interest you. Were you wanting a city centre location, or would you be interested in something a bit further out?
Well, I do have a car, so I could go for either.
You've heard 30 seconds, but there was no answer. Quite often, the first few phrases don't contain any answers to help you settle. Keep on looking for the answer to question number 1, a hotel in a rural area.
Well, there are 2 central hotels in the range you're looking for. There's Carlton House and the Imperial. They're both near the main square. But if you've got your own transport, you might be interested in the Royal Oak. That's out in the country, about 10 kilometres away. Very peaceful. Then there's the Bridge Hotel and the Majestic. They're both in town, but not in the centre. They're out on the airport road.
Here is a transcript. The key words are: you might be interested in the Royal Oak. That's out in the country, about 10 kilometers away. Very peaceful. Out in the country means in a rural area. Now, you should look for the second answer. Only opened recently.
That might be a bit far out, actually. OK, now the other two you mentioned in the city centre. Can you tell me a bit about them?
Well, they're both excellent hotels. If you want something with a bit of character, Carlton House is quite unusual. It's a very old building that was originally a large private house. It was bought by the Vannies chain, and they completely refurbished it. They took their first guests just a few months ago, but it's already got an excellent reputation. That's a 5-star hotel.
The key words are: they completely refurbished it. They took their first guests just a few months ago. It means that this hotel opened recently. Previously in the paragraph, they talked about a very old building, but this is just a distraction. The question is not about a new building. We are looking for a hotel that opened recently. Now let's continue. Question number 3. Offers facilities for business functions.
Or there's the Imperial, which is a much more modern building. That also has its own gym, and it also has internet connection and meeting rooms. It's used for conferences and corporate events as well as private guests. That's 5-star as well.
Here, we can hear that the Imperial has internet connection and meetings rooms. It's used for conferences and corporate events. Business functions are business events, such as conferences. You see, not a single word is repeated, but the meaning is the same. And the last question, a hotel with an indoor swimming pool.
Does it have a swimming pool as well as a gym?
No, the Royal Oak has an outdoor pool, which is lovely in the summer, but the only hotel with an indoor pool is the Bridge Hotel. It doesn't have a gym, though. The Majestic is planning to build a swimming pool and a fitness centre, but it's not finished yet.
I see. Well, I think I'll probably go for one of the city centre hotels.
Here is our answer. Have a look at the question first. You see, it's not just about a swimming pool. It's about an indoor swimming pool. Just from this detail, you can already guess that there may be a hotel with an outdoor swimming pool too. Indeed, that's Royal Oak. That's an incorrect answer. And also, we've already used this option to answer another question. That's why you should cross out options as you use them. Okay, that's the end of the practice. So, how many questions out of 4 could you answer correctly? Please tell me in the comments. Also tell me what other question types do you find difficult in IELTS listening. I'll make videos about them. My personal favorite is multiple choice questions, so I'll link this video right here. And if you don't have our IELTS study plan yet, with all the essential steps for your preparation and links to resources, here it is. Thank you so much for watching me today. Good luck with your preparation and your exam.